Hi, Libra. I am feeling a lot of things when I was looking at your energy and just kind of coming into this reading with you all. I realized something really huge about Librans and what's been going on and what's about to occur. And it's all kind of really profound in so many ways. And a lot of this has to do with this Uranus shift, right? That's what astrologers are really talking about for May, which is that Uranus has been in Aries since 2011 and now is shifting into Taurus. So for about 7 or 8 years, you guys have had this energy in your 7th house, in your opposite sign of Aries, which means the way you were relating to other people was constantly getting a little bit of an electrocution, right? I guess that's the way I'd put it. Uranus is this electric energy. It's an electric energy. It's a surprise energy. It's an energy that does not leave things as they are just to let them continue to go. He wants to revolutionize the way you do something in your life, the way you do a certain aspect of your life, wants to give you the best that it can. So having it in your opposite sign is an intense placement, but now we are having it move into Taurus, right? On the 15th of May. And Taurus is your 8th house, the house of transformation. And I got a really strong visual for Libra when I felt through what that is for you when Uranus is in your 8th house. So 8th house energy is transformation, right? It is the energy of transformation. And in your 8th house is Taurus, which is this very earth-based energy, and this plant energy kind of came to mind. I was thinking about what you're going to be experiencing with this for the next 7 or 8 years is that your roots are getting transformed, right? When you think about a seed that's underground and it's sprouting, the first thing it does is it sprouts a root that goes down and then it sprouts side roots, right? And it's really beautiful to watch time lapses. If you've ever seen a seed sprouting underground, it's really cool to watch. Your root system is getting some revolution. Wow, 4 cards. Speaking of revolution, 4 cards just flew out. I haven't turned these over yet. You are getting a revolution in your roots. So we have a lot of energy in Taurus. Obviously, it's Taurus season when we hit May. We have Mercury in Taurus. We have a new moon in Taurus on the 15th, along with Uranus moving into Taurus on the 15th. And then we have some other cool things, though. And this is what's cool about it, too, Libra, is you guys are a sign of duality. You know, air signs understand how to be in 2 states at once, which is one of the coolest things about being an air sign. Also one of the greatest liabilities, as you guys know, 2 states at once. And this month is a great representation of that. Uranus is going to start to work on your roots and figure out ways to rebalance that and find some beauty in that. But there's also this really fun thing going on in May for you all where a lot of great energies are going to start to culminate around you and give you some boosts. So we have Gemini season starting on the 21st, which is, your 9th house. Yeah, your 9th house of the big picture, right? Where you want to take your journey next. So that's a really supportive energy. You have a full moon in Sag on the 29th, which is very much about, your communication and how you want to communicate yourself. It's a very playful energy for you. Also, that full moon is going to be fantastic for that. And before that, on the 16th, we have Mars going into Aquarius for a little while. And that's your 5th house of your heart and your romance and your creativity. So Mars, that action-driven planet, is really going to be helping you to make some moves. So in some ways, having Uranus undergirding all of that is a really strong point, but it's intense. And it will demand that you make dynamic changes underground, right? It's subtle in a way. It is subtle in a way because it's not going to be something the external world is going to be seeing. So one thing to keep in mind when we start this longer transit, first of all, outer planets kind of work differently. They take their time combing through the details, right? So it's not going to be something that suddenly your life is turned upside down, but it's going to be something where, maybe people aren't going to know that you are doing some of that root system work. Maybe you'll even forget that you're doing some of that root system work. And that is just me encouraging you. This is really beautiful energy. This is really a chance to refine some really key points in yourself, Libra. So, you know, be gentle. Be gentle with yourself. I've been reading a lot of Timothy Leary, who is a Libra. I've just been kind of on a kick, and he was a very well-known psychologist who did a lot of experiments on himself, honestly, with LSD in the second half of the 20th century, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, all the way through his whole second half of his life, basically. And, you know, he was a Libran who understood the multiple levels of existence. You know, you can read about all of that. And I really think about Librans right now in that sense. And I'm actually excited for you, because I feel like, you know, you guys classically get put in with the whole, oh, you have to relate, you have to relate, you have to relate. And I think that with that Uranus in your opposite sign, that's been kind of feeling true, that it's all about relating and how you're relating and where that's challenging and where that's difficult. And this shift is kind of nice, because I think it's going to highlight more of how deep you guys go and how many layers you're actually working on at one time normally. Because I think people don't actually know that that's what's going on with Libran energy, that you guys are working on, I don't know, 10 levels at a time, and you are checking in with each of those each time. And this kind of electric energy helping you with one of those levels could be a really nice, refreshing shift. Now let's look at the cards, because they're really great, actually, you guys. I'm looking at these and they're fantastic. So I'm doing 3 sets of 3, and you guys have some of the best energy that I've seen so far in the readings. And it's so perfect. I'll show you what we have here. Knight of Wands, Ace of Wands, Magician to start the month. So we are in Taurus season. We're in your 8th house. This is speaking of electric energy, high powered energy, fast moving energy, vibrant energy. These 3 move. These 3 move. There's a lot of fire going on here, right? Knight of Wands tends to like to dive into things. So if you have fire signs around you, it may be that you are getting into some fast-paced projects, or being asked to take a leap of faith into something. But there's fresh ignition energy here, right? For those of you in love with the fire sign, or really connected with a fire sign, any of the fire signs, honestly, with this energy, they're asking for you to step up, step in, be there with them. And they may be impatient with you. If you're working through your multiple levels, double checking the details, kind of getting in there, making sure everything's okay, this may feel really intense. But look who's showing up here already, the Magician. Now, the Magician is often associated with Mercury. And Mercury is doing a bit of a shift around. He's moving from Taurus to Gemini this month. But I also associate the Magician with Uranus, because Uranus shakes things up, and so does the Magician. There is something here that's really powerful. It's like I was saying, there's a duality going on with you. And at the beginning of the month, we're still finishing up Uranus and Aries. So first half of the month, we're still kind of doing we're finishing up the last couple weeks. However, like I was saying, there's multiple levels. And while you're kind of starting to do this root system recharged energy, on the surface, on the exterior, like I was saying, there's a playfulness going on with Libran energy this month that is asking you to just go for something. This does not have to be about love. If it is, there's somebody ready to commit, or somebody who wants to shake things up with you, wants to get to the bottom of it, wants to ignite something. But this a lot of times has to do with your life mission, or like traveling the world, where you want to go next, who you want to be next. We're gearing up for Gemini season, your 9th house of the big picture, right? And this is the kind of energy where you think about what's going to matter in 5 years and what's not. And when you kind of think that way, you can realize where risk is worth it, right? And there's something here asking you to risk some part of yourself, which that sounds really intense, but I just mean there's something here asking you to go for it. Take the action. Shake it up. You know, it's very action focused here. And I do think there's some kind of external impetus behind that. So, man, some passion, some intensity, some vision going on right there. So let's keep talking through this, because the energy does not stop there, Libra. And I do think it's because You are finishing up something. You are doing a bit of a graduation dance here as we move into this new era of Uranus. And what that's bringing for you is, honestly, like I said, some relief. I do think that, like, weirdly, having Uranus in your 7th house, your opposite sign, is almost harder than 8th house, because it constantly puts this pressure on you to be refining that. And with your skill sets, that's not always your favorite thing, you know? But look what we have. We have the World, the 7 of Cups, and the 9 of Pentacles. So we're continuing this theme. Something's getting shaken up, right? Big time. The World is endings and beginnings, right? And it's actually perfect for the transformation energy you're about to be in. So we're closing out a chapter. We're opening up a new one. The World is very supportive of growth and change. It's a very warm card over transformation. It's not as destructive as some of the other transformation energies can be. But here's what's interesting, you guys. Speaking of working on multiple levels, underneath that World energy, as we get to the middle of the month and we have that Taurus new moon and we have this shifting energy where you have Uranus going into your 8th house and you have Mars going into your 5th house in Aquarius, you have this dual level, right? Here it is. There's a little bit of resistance I see going on with you all with this. It's like we have that Knight of Wands, that Ace of Wands, the Magician, and then the World. And all these are just kind of pushing at you. Like, come on, let's go. The energy's there. And I think that's really exciting. And a lot of you are going to feel really excited by that. You're ready for a refresh. You're ready for a change in the way things have been going. Because if you look back over the last 7 years, you're like, oh yeah, I've been dealing with this same lesson in the same way and I'm really tired of it. So there's a lot of you that are going to be just like, yes, okay, fresh energy, let's go. But because you're Librans and you're working on 10 different levels at once, here it is, because the 7 of Cups is very much working on those different levels. It can feel foggy, it can feel confusing, it can feel overwhelming, like which cup to pick up, which dream to pursue. You know, when you've had a whole bunch of dreams, you've had a really dream-rich night, and you've had, like, maybe you traipse through, 5 different emotional settings. Which of those dreams did you resonate with and you feel like you wanted to take that with you into the day, and which ones did you just want to leave at the door, right? That's kind of the 7 of Cups energy. And I think this is kind of the beginning taste of what I was talking about with that root system, getting a little bit of a, that's now where you're getting your revolution in your energy. It's subtler, it's underground, it's hidden. This is the hidden layers, right? And you're going to have to take those times out to listen to that layer more. The range of pitches, right? You have your pitches of the external world, what's going on with your coworkers, your family, who you're living with, all the chatter, the back and forth, the real world kind of conversations. You have, subtle nonverbal cues. You have, your physical body and how that's feeling. And then you have that intuitive voice. And it's the frequency is its own frequency that you can't hear in the external world, right? And this is when you're starting to check in on that frequency. And I think you're going to be noticing that more and more, that checking in on that frequency is helping you to make good decisions about what's next. And so the more you're listening into this frequency, which is a little foggy at first and can be quiet, and I think has been kind of pushed to the side a little bit as you guys have been working through some of these other energies, but it's starting to come up. And as you start listening to that, I think you're going to be finding it's really helping you to find the path that fits for you and makes you feel at ease. So the 9 of Pentacles as at ease energy. And I really like to see this for Librans because I do think you guys stress yourselves out a lot. Very often you feel frazzled, by all these different levels you're working at. It's so many that it can be tough. I think being a Libran can be a really intense life. I don't have Libra in my chart, and I think about you guys and I feel through your energy and just kind of see where you're at. And I realize that there is this, people don't know how much energy you're putting into all these different channels. But what I'm kind of seeing here and why I'm excited for this new transit for you is that you're going to be finding that you're doing things that are more true for you and that are more in line with what you want. So while you might have people here pushing, you know, they want to do this project. They want to get you moving. And this is great energy. Don't get me wrong. This is great energy. You're going to be listening into that subtler frequency, the one that isn't so loud in our material world, and finding the path that's right for you, right? Intuitively finding that path. And I think that's so important. Now, the last 3 cards of the month continue to be amazing. They continue to be amazing, you all. And Libra, this is really a new age for you all. And I really do feel that there is going to be a bit of a sigh of relief. I really do. Because look at this. Lovers, Queen of Cups, Strength. Gemini and Leo, these are great energies for Libra, right? On either side. So some of you, it is a relationship heavy month. This is a month where you're communicating. Maybe you're falling in love with a Libra or some kind of water sign. Maybe you're expressing that. Maybe you're expressing your needs to this person as well, right? Because the Lover's card is also about communicating your needs, communicating what you need, communicating the various elements of yourself, right? Gemini season is coming up. It's a communicative time at the end of the month, once we hit Gemini season on the 20th, 21st. And these are the cards that represent the last 10 days of the month, pretty much. Communicating what you need, right? If you're going to be in a commitment, if you're going to be in something that uses your energy and uses your care and uses your insight, people need to know what you need. Not just what, you know, other people need, or how to keep the balance of the situation, or how to keep the situation afloat at any cost, but what you really need. No filter, unfiltered, right? In fact, these 2 energies right here speak to that, because the Queen of Cups is the intuitive. Here we have again, you're going to be utilizing that level of your consciousness much more consistently coming up here, which is fantastic. That's been a practice I know you all have worked on, and you all have the capability. But you're going to be using it more consistently, right? Using that frequency, using that level of consciousness to your advantage. And that's the Queen of Cups, using the intuitive. Not only that, but the Strength card. Yes, there's a Leo. I mean, honestly, I do feel like a lot of you got a Leo. Look at all that fire messing with you right now. Or a Gemini, honestly, because we have the Magician and the Lovers. You got some people interested in you. You have some people wanting to know more about you, commit to you, understand you, know you. They want to know you. But they may be subtler about how they ask for that, because they know that you like to keep certain levels of yourself to yourself. You're going to have to offer that up to others, because they're going to kind of hold their position. They're here. They know where they are. They want to know where you are, but they're not going to push it. They're not going to push. They're not going to intrude on that space of yourself, because they know it's sacred, and they know that it's a big deal for you to share that. So one thing I would say is, and this can be, if it is romance, yeah, absolutely, but this can be in your work relationships, in your home life, in your close friendships, people that are close to you, you know, the people who you would actually want to share this stuff with. Especially if you do start to feel that your energy is shifting into this other level, and you're starting to feel your root system go through a shift, and we're just at the very beginning of it. We're just tasting it now, so this is not something that's going to unfold in the course of May. It's a new chapter, it's a new book, and so that book is just beginning. But as you're feeling through that energy, it's really great to check in with those people who are sitting here. They may be none the wiser. They're just doing their thing. Minding their own business, respecting your space, I think, honestly. It may even be that, you know, somebody's pushing at you near the beginning of the month, and you kind of retract a little bit, you know, step back and assess and feel in with that vibration, that consciousness level. It's a higher consciousness level, but it's a quieter pitch often. And then, you know, they mind their own business, and you've got to communicate what it is that's going on, right? Because that's what I'm saying. The biggest thing I can see starting in May here for you guys and moving forward, just as a general overarching thing, is you have a lot going on those 5 layers under the surface that people don't know about. They see certain layers of you. They see certain aspects of you. There is no way for them to know that you are doing all this stuff. So starting to practice the communication of that is going to be essential for those relationships, and also just to like move into this new rich territory, because these are all great cards. They're all invitations to welcome you back. So I'm going to close it out there. I am sending you all the best. My calendar in May is a little bit crazy. I'm doing a handful of pre-recorded readings. If you're interested in one of those, send me an email with the email I provide in the description box, or check out my website because I am doing sessions at the end of May into June for Skype and phone. So my calendar continues to, we can work together down the road. Just get in touch with me and I'll let you know. Also, check me out on Instagram at the Sarah Tarot. We have so much fun over there, and I would love to connect with you on that platform. Also, check out PinkLune, the gorgeous Tiffany at PinkLune. She makes handmade materials she makes handmade jewelry that is with high quality materials, and she's giving you 15% off, so check her out in the description box. I am sending you guys all the best. I love you so much. I am really on your side as you dive into some of these interesting levels of yourself this coming month and years ahead. Sending you all my best. Mwah.